welcome to The Traveling Introvert. Today I'm going to talk about introverting with other introverts. And the reason this has come up is I recently spent time at think about a 7-day conference, which is quite a long time. It was split up into different types of conference and different activities and different things were done. But at the same time, it was about a week's worth of attending events, talking to people. I also gave a workshop, and there was meetups and dinners and events and activities to go to. And looking back at this week's worth of activity, even though I knew it was going to happen, and even though I tried to pace myself, I still found myself overwhelmed at times. And that's okay. That happens. I was still enjoying what I was doing. Though now I'm enjoying really long showers or just lying and not doing anything and letting my mind wander. But looking back during those 7 days, I realized there were quite a few times where I was introverting with another introvert, which was wonderful. And I want to talk about a couple of ways that this happened during this conference. So generally this conference had provided breakfast and lunch and the coffee breaks. And you'd come in the morning, and there was one morning where there was a little seating area. And one person mentioned that she could only get Wi-Fi where we were because her house had gone, or her Airbnb. And so she was there catching up on things. And I was sitting, going through my email, and then a third person came and joined, but she didn't say anything. She just looked at me, nodded, looked at the other person, nodded, went on her phone. And it was great. It was blissful. So it was one way we all introverted together. Another was at this particular conference, there was a breakout session, and all the introverts wanted to get together and talk about stuff related possibly to introversion or just issues or things they wanted to discuss. And so there was about, I'm going to say at least 10 of us all sitting there talking about different things that have come up, the way people have viewed introversion, how you've dealt with certain situations, what's good and what's bad. Everything from eating alone in a restaurant to how to tell an Uber driver, thank you for, talking. I'm not really talkative right now. I actually need this time to recharge. Can you please be quiet without being rude? So that was one way I ended up introverting with other introverts, which was great. And then there was a third time, a friend and I had been this is someone that I knew online, but had never actually met in person, but we felt like we knew each other. And on the last day, we decided to have lunch. And we weren't in a corner. We were in an area where other people could join in, but just the two of us just sat there and had a conversation. Other people sort of dipped in and out, but definitely respected the fact that the two of us were sitting there trying to have quality time together. So that was great. And another way I introverted, this time without a fellow introvert, was I found a quiet space. And then I realized another introvert was like, okay, so I'm going to go find a quiet space. And so we both went, and then at separate ends of the quiet space were there doing whatever we needed to do. And also at this particular event, they provided a quiet room. And so it was a room dedicated to you recharging your phones, laptops, etc. And just quiet. And there was coloring books and that sort of a thing. So those were ways that I ended up introverting with and without fellow introverts. And the last thing was there was a closing party, and it was in a bar/restaurant. And as usual in bars, the music starts off relatively nice and quiet, and then it ramps up as the evening goes on. I think they think it makes people feel the party mood. It just makes it more difficult for people to talk to each other. And so they had an outside patio area, and myself and another person went out to the outside patio area, A, so we could hear each other talk, and B, it stopped all that noise, because when you have everyone talking over each other and the music and everything else, it gets loud and overwhelming and overbearing, and then you just want to leave. When we went outside, I was like, I've got 30 minutes and then I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And then I ended up staying outside for 2 hours just talking to her and a couple of other people because the environment was a little more chilled and calm. So those were ways that I introverted with fellow introverts at a 7-day conference and survived. I would love to hear how you introvert with fellow introverts. Please email me at janice@thecareerintrovert.com. Thanks for listening and have a great day.